International football is completely different. This is where you are representing your country and countries compete against each other. So, for example, England, France, Spain, Germany, Portugal, etc., so on and so forth. So, when players represent their countries, they temporarily stop playing for their clubs and they come together and play for their country. So, yes, Ronaldo and Messi play for their own respective clubs throughout the year, but when it comes to international football, they go and represent their countries. To give you a more recent example, Kylian Mbappe plays for Real Madrid, but when there's an international break, he goes and represents France. Or Erling Haaland, for that matter, he plays for Manchester City, but when Norway calls, he goes for his country duty. So, same player, different kids, different competition, and most importantly, different teams. Club managers sometimes get annoyed when their players go on international duty because there is a high chance that they might come back tired or injured, and there is a lot of drama in football, and this is just like one of them. The biggest competition in the world, the FIFA World Cup, is an international tournament. World Cup is actually about which country is the best. And that's why country football hits so different than club football, because club football is something that you follow, international football is something that you feel. I mean, you can always choose to support a club from a different country, but when it comes to supporting your country, you're always going to choose your country. Unless and until your country is not playing, then you can choose who to support. Okay, now that we know what the game is, how it's played, what are the different formats, let's talk about what makes football so different, or why are people so obsessed with it. So, this is a question that I get asked a lot, that why do you care about football so much? It's just a game. And honestly, I get why they find it weird, but here's the thing. Football has been around for 150 years. Football is played in 190 countries around the world. It is one of the biggest, it is actually the biggest sport on this planet. Clubs have been around for generations. Clubs have actually turned into families now. It's identity, it's community, it's belonging to something that's bigger than you. When your team wins, strangers hug each other. When your team loses, it genuinely ruins your entire week. And when your country wins the World Cup, people cry in ways like they've never cried since they were kids. It's not just a sport, it's culture. It's most watched, most played sport on this planet. And once it gets you, it really gets you. Okay, so let's bring it all together and let's do a quick recap of everything that we spoke about today. So, football is a game or a sport played between two teams. Each team has 11 players. And the aim is to score goals, which is to put the ball in the opposing team's net. And the team that scores the most goals wins the match. It's as simple as that. The matches are played on a rectangular grass pitch. Each game is 90 minutes long, and the 90 minutes are divided between two halves of 45 minutes each. And between the two halves, there is a half time, which is a 15-minute break. So if the score is even at the end of 90 minutes, then in most competitions or in league phases, the game is said to be a draw. But if there is a knockout games are generally where one team has to go home or one team has to lose, then in that case an extra time is added, and sometimes that also goes to penalties. So we'll get into like the nitty gritties of what is the extra time and then how does it go to penalties and what does that what later. But this is just to like give you a gist of how the game works. So there is only one goalkeeper per team, and they're the only player on the team who are allowed to touch the ball with their hands. But again, only inside the box, which is the goalkeeper's area. And for everyone else, they have to only use their feet, no hands, unless and until it's a throw-in, which we'll get to later again. And you can also use, like, you can score goals through headers as well. And if you're feeling fancy, then maybe you can score with your chest too. But if you use your hands, then it's a foul. Each game has one referee and two assistant referees. The ball moves on the pitch through passing, dribbling and finding spaces. Fouls lead to free kicks and fouls in the box leads to penalty. Club football is played from week to week, where your clubs plays in the league competition and the domestic cups. International football is when players represent their clubs and when countries compete against each other. This is where the World Cup happens. If you have made it to the end of this video, you already know more than you think. Next video is going to be about positions in football. who plays where, what is their role, and why some positions are more glamorous than the others. Spoiler, everyone wants to be a striker, but nobody wants to be a defensive midfielder. Subscribe if you want to come along, and if you have questions, drop them in the comments. Trust me, there are no stupid questions here. See you in the next episode.